Disney princesses are some of the most identifiable and iconic characters of the 20th and 21st century. When you look at a photo of a Disney princess, you can most likely name her as well as call out the movie she was in. Not counting those cheesy sequels that should never be canon. Ugh. Kids dream about becoming them, or they may even crush on them. But have you ever thought about these Disney princesses looking completely different? If this makes your anxiety spike, we promise you it's going to be a good time. Take my hand and come along on this magic journey as we explore 15 Disney princesses reimagined by amazing artists. Before we bust out the pixie dust, wait right there, Tinkerbell. Are you subscribed to our channel? Take that moment to change that by clicking on the red subscribe button. If you don't, you might make one of our princesses cry. Do you want to explain why the princesses are crying? I don't think so. Rebellious. When we think of Disney princesses, we think of girls who are aligned with lawful good. That was for you RPG players who took a risk in watching this video. You're welcome. While these princesses are known to kick some butt, they pretty much follow all the rules, and they are rewarded for doing so. Granted, this has created a bit of an unrealistic expectation in living life because, as we've learned, you don't get everything you want because you did everything right. If you've ever wanted to try to relate to the princesses a bit more, but think you're out of your league because you're edgy, take a look at Emmanuel Viola. He is an Italian illustrator who has taken a different spin with the beloved Disney ladies and made them rebellious. Is it getting hot in here? We see Ariel and Cinderella with tattoos and wearing edgy clothing that would make you want to avoid messing with any of them. Sporting a beard. So this is definitely one of the more random reimaginings that I've ever seen. Let's take a moment to talk about the beard. No, we're not talking about someone that's used as a cover to make one seem like they're straight. Oh, by the way, celebrate your pride. Artist Adam Ellis is known for his humorous art, and he often will do renditions of Disney princesses. But his reimagining process with beards is such an epic move that it might even bring a tear to your eye. Here you can see Belle has a lovely combed beard with her yellow gown, and Pocahontas is taking none of your crap with her super long beard that doesn't have a single tangle. Ellis managed to match the animation styles with each princess, so the beard edition is absolutely flawless, darling. This brings a whole new spin on the term bearded lady, doesn't it? Mommy. What happens after happily ever after? Well, when a man and a woman love each other, first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes the prince with a baby carriage. Before you all come after me with pitchforks over gender and societal norms, these movies came out in a time where that was automatically expected. But few Disney movies actually explored a princess's life after the wedding is done and she gets knocked up. Artist Isaiah Stevens decided to take on the challenge and create some beautiful art showing off our favorite Disney princesses with a bun in the oven. There's Jasmine looking like she's about to pop with Aladdin gleefully listening in. We got Belle feeding her baby in the middle of a park, and we got Tiana laughing at Prince Naveen as their baby goes potty on him. Elsa even has a baby who has seemed to inherit her magical ice powers, and Rapunzel is ready to change a diaper while Flynn Rider can't deal with the smell. We can't blame you for wearing that mask, good sir. Queens. Yas, queens. We talked about what might happen to a princess right after marriage. But what happens to her 30 to 40 years later? I know. In Disney, these princesses don't age thanks to the rules of fantasy. But what if we could get a glimpse? This is probably one of the most creative ideas to come from a reimagining of a Disney princess by turning them into powerful queens. Hey, they descended onto their throne at some point. We're going to take a break from the animation and go into photography. This was a team effort with costume designer Nephi Garcia and photographer Tony Ross. The way Garcia and Ross approached the idea was to take a photo of the princess in her younger days, pretty much the way we know her now. Then they got the model's older female relative to portray the Queen Mother version of the young princess. This reimagining caught the attention of a bunch of people, and now the older generation can have their dream of being queens, which are much more powerful than princesses. Real life. Back to animation. Are you excited? The things that people can do with a pencil these days is pretty mind-blowing. When we have been raised to look at princesses a certain way, you can't help but be curious about what a Disney princess would look like if she were a real person. Of course, we have our imaginings in our heads, but few of us lack the artistic skill to make this curiosity a reality. Cue Jirka Väätäinen, who decided to reimagine Ursula as a real-life person while she was in art college. From there, a brilliant idea was born and a series came to fruition. The magical thing about Väätäinen's creation is that her realistic drawings look like the animated princess, and they are instantly recognizable. This is more efficient than what any photo can accomplish. So now, you have realistic comparisons when you go seeking out your Disney princess lookalike, whatever you may need that for. I won't ask. Presidential candidates. Now we descend into the weird side of the internet. If you're a fan of the 2016 presidential candidates, have you ever wondered what Jeb Bush would look like as Ariel? As random as that train of thought is, and we might be judging you a little bit for that, you don't have to imagine it anymore. You can see it as a reality. It seems that MTV was the brainchild behind this really weird concept, but it somehow works. Artist Annabel Coe put it all together using her love of Disney princesses and odd sense of humor. Have you ever imagined what Bernie Sanders would look like as human Ariel? Here we have Marco Rubio as Snow White and Mike Huckabee as Tiana. We also have Hillary Clinton as Cinderella. And then there's Carly Fiorina as Princess Jasmine. And to top it all off, we have President Trump as Sleeping Beauty. Well, now that we've provided you with your nightmares for the rest of Trump's administration, have Mermaid Jeb Bush sing you to sleep. Nigel Thornberry. If you're a child of the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, then you probably grew up with Nickelodeon's The Wild Thornberrys. If so, you probably know who Nigel Thornberry is, who was voiced by the amazing Tim Curry. Nigel's prominent nose, bushy mustache, and nasally voice made us all laugh because it was so obnoxious. What Nickelodeon probably didn't realize was that they created an icon the internet wanted to continue to laugh at for years after the show ended. First, we had song remixes with Nigel's noises. Oh, whatever could have come next? Putting Nigel's face on Disney princesses. It's weird, it's terrifying, and it's hilarious. You can hear Nigel saying all of Belle's lines and singing Part of Your World with his signature in between lines. In fact, this might completely replace your Disney princesses altogether. Wait, well, maybe not. This is good for some laughs, but Nigel Ariel might give your kid nightmares. Who did this? Modern day. Okay, back to normal. Artist Anusha Syed decided to reimagine Disney princesses as bona fide 21st century gals. What would Ariel be like if her story took place today? Well, Anusha made her a modern-day anthropologist, which, if you think about it, totally makes sense. In the movie, Ariel loved studying humans, but let's take a look at Merida. She's become a rebellious punk rocker teenager, and she looks like she could take anyone in a fight. Or she looks like she would be the person you chill with while listening to British punk rock. Anusha made Snow White as a pleasingly plump social media queen who's the fairest of them all with the most followers, much to the disgust of the evil queen. Pocahontas is a linguist, specializing in merging cultures. Esmeralda is a ballet dancer, Mulan is a military cadet, Jasmine is using her carpet to be a travel blogger, Belle is a fangirl of entertainment, and Tiana is an entrepreneur. Actually, I might even be a princess. These ladies are so relatable to the 21st century. Anusha did a good job of integrating the princesses' origin stories with a modern twist. Star Wars twist. It was only a matter of time before someone merged Star Wars and Disney princesses together. Technically, Disney owns the Star Wars franchise, and Disney has already created Star Wars versions of Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Goofy, and the rest of the crew to sell in their numerous gift shops. An illustrator named Ralph Sevelius created a series of what our favorite Star Wars characters would look like if replaced by Disney princesses. Are you ready for Jedi Ariel? Let's not keep her waiting. First, let's check out Sith Snow White. Let's see if the evil queen tries to do her in this time. How about Rapunzel as a Padawan? Her hair is still short and dark, but there are hints of her original long blonde locks can be seen. We mentioned Jedi Ariel, and we're done teasing. She looks fierce and intimidating and ready to kick some butt with 2 lightsabers. Now, Elsa was on the side of good, and she was already a bit destructive as it was. But what would happen if we had Sith Elsa? Look out, world! Darker side. Disney princesses are synonymous with good feelings, happily ever after, and purity. But as we all know, life has a tendency to come in and smack us with reality. We're faced with real problems every day, and while we can dream of living a blissful life like a Disney princess, it ain't happening, sugar. Shannon Dermody wanted to reimagine our favorite princesses with a darker twist. For example, Dermody photographed Belle as a victim of an abusive relationship, with the Beast handing her a rose as an apology. Then we have Ariel surrounded by pollution. There's Snow White on a drinking binge and Jasmine chain-smoking cigarettes. There are a few images that are even darker than that, but we'll let you look those up on your own. It's definitely an imagining that's not going to make you feel good at the end, but it will definitely bring in more awareness to the issues we have around the world. You're welcome for those nice warm feelings that we've just given you. Plus size. One of the biggest criticisms Disney gets is how the princesses have unrealistic body proportions, and therefore are responsible for girls feeling like they can't measure up or compare. In fact, if you tried to adapt their actual body size, it's really unrealistic. Most of the Disney princesses have waists that are smaller than the width of their head. Even the skinniest model can't achieve that without having some health issues. Come on, Disney. A Tumblr user by the name of The Nameless Doll reimagined Belle as a plus-size princess. Really, Belle looks like a regular person, but whatever. Anna from Frozen looks absolutely adorable and more realistic. Therefore, she's probably more relatable. Then there's Rapunzel, who actually looks better if you ask me. You can't even tell she's plus size until you look at the before picture and realize just how skinny she really is. Hey, Disney, take notes and give us a real plus size princess. Gender bending. All of these reimaginings are great and all, but what if we did a complete switch on the gender of our Disney princesses? A Canadian illustrator named Yu decided to take on this challenge. And the results aren't disappointing. With Beauty and the Beast, Belle is a strapping young man with long hair and wearing a white shirt with a blue vest, while the Beast is an adorable lady who is still gorgeous even when covered in hair. Elsa looks a bit more sinister as a male, but all of her regular features are still there. Esmeralda looks fierce and almost resembles Aladdin if he was in another universe. Now let's talk about Hades. Okay, he's not a Disney princess, but when turned into a female, she looks more terrifying than most Disney villains. And kinda hot. Pocahontas looks amazing and so very handsome as a male. Ariel is also a male name and looks like he's ready to be a part of our world with an adorable female flounder as his sidekick. Since we already talked about villains, we can't close out this section without looking at the male version of Maleficent. Whew. Anime. So who here likes anime? Yeah, it's okay when you like it as a kid, but when you get older, there can be some massive shade thrown at you for enjoying anime. Mariam Safdar loves Disney and loves anime, so she decided to combine the two together. Anime and manga have taken the world by storm for decades with some of the most beautiful art our eyes have ever beheld. Now, if you're thinking Pokemon when I say anime, you need to dig deeper. Safdar reimagined the Disney princesses by drawing anime-style portraits of them. She covered Ariel, Merida, Jasmine, Mulan, Pocahontas, Belle, Snow White, Alice, Rapunzel, and even Kida. Wait, who's Kida? Have you ever seen Atlantis: The Lost Empire? It's probably one of Disney's most underrated movies. Anyway, Safdar also covered Aurora, Cinderella, Tiana, Anna, and Elsa. Based on reviews, it seems that people actually think that these princesses look better as anime characters. One can't deny that the princesses definitely look cuter with smoother lines and puppy eyes galore. Outfit swapping. It seems that guys really enjoy it when girls wear their clothes. Otherwise, why else would a guy's wife or girlfriend be wearing his shirt or jacket? In this reimagining, Haruki Godo has the princess wearing their prince's clothes. To be honest, these ladies look better in the outfits than the princes themselves. Perhaps this is something Disney can integrate into some merch. Because what if there's a little girl that doesn't want to dress up in a dress but instead sports some pants and a nice coat? Or what if Cinderella doesn't want to wear her usual getup and decides to borrow her prince's wardrobe for a day? Godo showed us exactly what that looks like. And to be honest, I'm kind of digging it. Now, we just need to see the princes wearing their princess's dress. Wait, artist Sarah Margaret has already covered that. But these princes don't look thrilled at all with what they have to do. Instagram princess. With all the different looks at princesses, could anyone do a better job than Disney? While this may seem like a blasphemous statement to Disney purists, I have something to show you that will make you question everything. A well-known Instagrammer named Isabel Staub is known for her posts and artistic abilities. She decided to take on a fresh new look of Disney princesses while she was dealing with an artistic block. Not that I know what that's like or anything. She painted the princess in her own style, which give these lovely ladies a more realistic and 3D look. If Disney ever decided to reanimate or touch up their originals, they should definitely give Staub a call. I mean, look at these creations. They actually make Disney look like a bunch of amateurs. Staub used a program called Corel Painter and then did touch-ups on Photoshop. Actually, these works of art would be the perfect gift for any Disney buff who wants to decorate their space with something that's outside the traditional look. Feel like you can relate better to Disney princesses now? Just because an animator made your favorite princess a certain way, it doesn't mean that you're stuck with that one kind of appearance. Venture out, take risks, and your reimagining might be in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give a clickety-click to that gray bell so you can stalk us more efficiently. Bippity bippity bop. See you all next time.